pretty nice. I'd say
pardon
it looks
me.
pretty well, lad.
Pardon me, sir. I'm looking for information or the whereabouts of a certain individual.
Well,
Cap,
No, I'm not.
who's asking?
I don't know anything.
I am. I'm simply looking on my own accord.
I wouldn't ask too many questions around here. People might start getting worried.
I'll keep my questions concise, then.
Bad to happen. Would
Of
you?
course.
Too much
course.
noise. Too much noise wakes the dead. And when the dead wake, some terrible things happen.
Alright.
Haven't you heard of what happened last week?
Last week.
That was a record.
Alright. Now, So, do you know anyone that might be able to help me if you two are unable to?
There's a guy inside. He might know a few things. He gets around. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Not that asking questions.
The Weaver is not the kind of person who you'd want to talk extremely openly with. But hey,
Thank you for the warning, then.
if you want to figure something out, then you better roll the dice and take a gamble with him. Or at least you could try.
I'd warn you though. The dice is loaded. Now get out of here.
Alright.
You're in a conversation.
Loaded die.
I got the
Luckily, I
joke
bring
book
some of my own.
from there.
That's why you've gotten so bad lately, huh?
Yeah,
Hello?
but hey, it's a learning curve.
Is this where the Weaver is?
For example, what instrument do skeletons play?
Are you the Weaver?
No.
Is she the Weaver?
No.
No. Well, guess those skeletons might have put me in the wrong direction. But if you don't mind me asking you instead, I'm looking for information on one Nephilim Curry.
That does ring a bell. Really does. But I can't put my finger on it, you know?
Red jacket, katana on his back, glowing eye and two desert eagles.
Ah, that guy. I don't know
Talks
much.
like he's trying to project as much of a whisper as he can.
Yeah, I know. He's sort of a big deal, I know that.
Oh. If he is I guess his name kind of carries more around this area than where I'm from.
I've heard he's got a huge target on his back.
Any idea from where that is?
Not quite sure. I know someone said it, but I can't remember who, you know?
Huh. I see. What about you? You talk much?
They're more of a mute,
I see.
sadly.
Well... If you happen to come across the Weaver, see if You can spot him for me.
Oh, don't worry. I got you covered.
Have any idea if he'll be back anytime soon?
I'm sure he'll be back.
Alright. I'll wait downstairs then. I have plenty of time.
Alright.
This could be a good moment to write down some notes. If he doesn't have specifics. Target on his back. Doesn't know who sent. No, his name carries more weight here than back in town. Knowing this seedy area, there's a strong likelihood he may be more of some sort of underworld actor. One crime. If he engages in crime, but he's a traveler. So he might not be good in with many gangs, but if he's a criminal and a traveler and a delinquent, he sure does like to carry his weapons around. Maybe he's a mercenary, or an assassin, hitman type deal. Explain his cocky nature. Though I'm not too sure about that. It's certainly possible, but how likely would that be? There's a chance. A hunch. Though I don't want to come to any concrete conclusions until I have that information beyond a shadow of a doubt. I guess I'll just have to sit down and take my time until the Weaver arrives. He might have some good information. Better than another guy did. I assume that's a guy. Not sure what he was. Come across odd stuff here, huh?
Hey man, so
You have to be kidding me.
got any good places to get that fixed? I need to be brought back from the dead.
No, not really. Honestly, when it comes to this place, there aren't very many repair places.
Now, come to think of it, that'd be a really good slogan for a company. Maybe we should start a computer repair company by here.
Maybe it should be called Techno Necro.
That's an amazing name. Catch
Huh?
What the fuck do you want?
Excuse me, but the Weaver still hasn't shown up. I'm starting to doubt the information you gave me.
Do you mean he hasn't
Should
shown?
be up there.
Like, I saw him earlier. At least it was up there.
I went up
not
there,
what it
he
used to
wasn't
be.
there, and Oh, hello there.
Boys,
He's right there.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
Sorry,
you're the
boys.
Weaver?
Weaver. This
I
person
am
wanted to talk to
asking.
you.
Boss.
I am. I'm looking for information on an individual, but I think we should take this upstairs. No. Not safe to talk too much in the streets.
I hear you, but, information isn't cheap in these rough streets. I'm wondering what you can do for me.
I may not have much coin on me, but...
No. That's not how we talk here. Information, my friend. I give you some, you give me some. That's how it works.
Let's see what can be arranged then. What are you looking for? And I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Let's just see. As long as we're taking this inside first.
Sure. Hey, boys. You see anybody else looking for me, tell them I'm somewhere else.
Got it,
Okay,
boss.
Hope you don't mind the company. These two I keep with me all the time.
I see.
King Himkara. Double K's. Gotta love him.
Anyway, about that idea.
Come on.
Yeah. It sound though that name sounds a little bit like.
Shall I take a seat?
some kind
Oh,
of
no, these seats are for
band
them.
name.
You can stand.
Make music on the side.
I understand. Oh,
So,
that one seems to have taken that seat.
Techno repairing. We can patent this.
let's talk info.
This area needs a techno.
What are you looking to know?
I'm looking for information on an individual known as Nephilim Curry and their partner Kiryu. Though I'm more interested in the Curry one.
Nephilim Curry. Man, that's a name you don't hear often. Well, I do happen to know a few things regarding a Nephilim Curry. But again, that information isn't cheap. I want to know what you have to offer. Anything. Information that's equal to the information I'm about to give you.
Well... No, I can't necessarily gauge what I need to give if I don't necessarily know how much you have on your plate.
Let's just say, I may or may not have seen where those two were headed recently.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say, I might or might not know the location of where they are right now. But again, this information doesn't come cheap. And I'm
Yes.
gonna need to make sure that you can hold up your end of the bargain. So what you got for me?
If I might be able to better tailor if I know your interests. What type of stuff you're going for.
Listen, the information that I need to know is plentiful, vast, boundless. I want to know everything. How about this? You been around that Emperor lately?
Yes, I have.
What do you know about him?
You want to know what I know?
Just as much as you want to know what I know.
If we're talking the Emperor... I know recently... There's been word going around about new law being passed by their right-hand man. Brand new anti-discriminatory laws to protect new realmers.
I see. So my words got to him, did they?
Yes, I would say. I was passing by town when I saw them talking a little bit about... They were out in the open with the Emperor, near the area where the original speech was being given. Emperor hasn't looked it over yet, but we should be expecting some law to be passed sometime soon.
Interesting. Okay. I'm happy to hear that. You see, my friend over here is a particular mind, and there are some things that, with this new anti-discriminatory law, he might be able to get away with. A few things that he'd find very enjoyable right about now. But he's keeping his appetite, he's holding himself, and I appreciate that. Because we're here to do business. So,
Keep
let
in
me
mind.
ask you this. Hold on.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. This anti-discriminatory law, I'm assuming it's gonna have some kind of scratch my back, I scratch yours, everybody watches out for each other. But let me tell you something, this place is what you'd call abandoned. And with the information that I'm about to give you, I'm hoping you can give me enough information to make sure that it stays that way. You see, I don't like the Emperor in the business of these streets. I don't like the Emperor anywhere near my fair people here. And I want to make sure that people like my friend here and people like my friend over here can engage in their pleasures without being interrupted. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. So, with that being said, let me hold up my end. I've heard of a camp nearby the main city. Some people there in the shadier underbrushes have told me of two foreigners who happened to move in recently. Keep in mind, I did happen to hear Nephilim Curry and Kiryu mention wanting to stay close by. So, if you're gonna look anywhere, I just heading back to the main city, finding the dirtiest people you can, and get to asking. With that being said, the information, please.
Let's see.
Let's say it like this. The information, in addition to what you've given me. Have you heard anything about a policing system that I need to concern myself with?
Well, I've heard some things offhandedly about a judge coming into place.
Okay.
A judge in order to look over the law, make sure that to handle the court cases and all.
I see. So they're trying to fix up the government, huh?
Yes.
Oh,
The
wow.
entire the point of the discriminatory laws, to my knowledge, is more or less to provide equal rights and to ensure that there's no mistreatment between New Realmers and natives.
Equal
Sounds like
rights.
they're reinforcing themselves.
Exactly. Sounds like reinforcement indeed. But again, I'll be honest. We as New Realmers have been discriminated for a long time. And I
Yes.
just can't seem to think that regardless of this law, that's going to change. You see, this city has been lost in the wave of change. People keep talking about the things they want to do to build us up, but again, they fail to look at its roots. They fail to address the damages that are currently existing. So, new laws. I don't care about it. That judge, you get me his name, you get me where he lives. And in return, I will pinpoint a location for you on Nephilim Curry and Kiryu. We got a deal?
I may need to keep the deal open for now. We can close it at another point, but the point is, I'll see what I can do. One
Okay.
option could be I take the information you've already given me and see what other places can assist me. Or I could follow up on your deal.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. You're free to do as you please. However, keep in mind that I have eyes everywhere. I am the dead, after all. So, if I happen to hear that you're saying a little bit too much, I've got a friend right here who certainly wouldn't mind paying you a visit. We're clear on that?
Yes.
Perfect. With that in mind, you're free to leave.
Thank you for the information you've granted.
Of course. Feel free to visit any time. You know where to find me.
Indeed. Thank you.
Of course.
Seediest fellows I can find, huh? I think I'll take that option. Damn well I won't betray the government.
So we probably need to talk to someone though to make sure that this idea can get float. You know, we gotta have an audience, a supporting group.
I'll run it by a few people, see if they like the idea, and if they like it, I'll see if I can't stop by the patent office or something. I think there's a guy right there. You think he... Hey! Hey, you!
Hey!
Mm.
Could you
Hey,
come over
come
here
here.
for a second? We got a question.
Hey, we were thinking of starting a business. It's a computer repair company, and we make music on the side. We're gonna call ourselves the Techno Necro.
You ever have
Sound like a
computer
good
problems?
idea to you?
You ever have computer problems? We'll bring those frame rates back from the dead.
Good? You like it? I
Yeah,
think this can work, man.
this could certainly work.
You see who else we can't get this idea by? I
Yeah,
think it's gonna work.
maybe we could ask the boss's assistant. See what his opinion is on it.
Assistant. Alright.
Yeah. The guy who's got the really long white hair.
I don't like that guy.
Ah,
You know I
Right.
don't like that guy. Guy's an asshole.
right. But if he supports it, then even assholes would want to buy it.
That's true. That's a good point. I'll think about running it by him. But I think with a friend here is, encouraging hand gestures, I think we can actually make something of this.
Yeah.
See, look at him.
Maybe we should maybe we could go on and get in a public opinion poll too. Maybe even start
See
one
what
of
I can
those.
do. I'll put up like some flyers.
Yeah.
This'll work.
With the advent of new drone technology, we need people. There's gonna need to be people who can actually work with it. That's where the entrepreneurship comes in.
See, this is why you're the smart one. I'm just the guy who comes up with the ideas. I'm the creative mind. You're the intelligent mind.
Exactly. The,
We both don't even have a mind. But that's besides the point.
the bo- and if this fun could even help the boss a bit too. We could be able to get out of the slum areas. Even if the Empire has had trouble for a bit, we'll be able to repair it ourselves.
Exactly.
But maybe we'd have to deal with monsters in the dungeon down there. That's a hassle. That's a hassle. I'd leave that to the
I'm not gonna
Empire.
deal with that. Yeah, they can fix that. That's not our job. That's their job.
They don't even know why they came up. They sort of just appeared.
Anyway,
That's
see if I can't run it by the boss later. I think he's up there doing some important stuff right now. But when he's done, I think we got something.
yeah. This would certainly look good. This will certainly go well.